Hey everybody, welcome back to some more Scooby-Doo related content for this channel. And as we already guessed by the title of the video, we all know what it's about. The new HBO series that is going to be based on the character Velma, which will be coming out soon. And hopefully I think it might be about a 2022 release date because we've already got enough coming out this year. So I don't think it will tie in with all that. I think it'll just be its own independent series on HBO side where it'll be separated from all the rest. So by that, what I mean is that we're still going to get our Scooby-Doo series a year on the normal take with the 2 movies and whatnot. Then on the HBO side, we're going to get their own take on Scooby-Doo set in a dark twist. So we're going to see Scooby-Doo how we would like it, and it is going to be an origin base. So this will technically make it the 4th origin for Scooby-Doo, which is pretty awesome. And if you don't know what the origins of Scooby-Doo are, there's a pup named Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo Mystery Begins, Daphne and Velma, and then my favourite, Scoob. So it is impressive how we're getting another Origins take with a twist. So we're going to be seeing a more dark tone with this one because it's with HBO, and if we all know HBO shows, they kind of have that adult humour, which is really good. So if you remember the Harley Quinn series on HBO, they took the psychotic character of Harley Quinn with a bunch of low class villains and made them into this comedy gold where we all like those characters in general, but when they're played on normal DC movies, they're not as fun and they're not as entertaining. So you see how they bring out the best in characters, the adult humor and all that, and it's just incredible how they would add in those features with Scooby-Doo. Because I remember when I talked about when Daphne and Velma came out, I obviously discussed how this movie would have been great if it was either animated or with a better budget and cast. So for them to take this idea, well not this idea, but actually make a animated Scooby-Doo series on HBO is great, because that way we have a much more better element to work with. And since it is animated, which means they can do a lot more to work with in terms of getting voice actors rather than worrying about the budget of actors in hand, because voice acting is a lot different than actual normal acting. And with Daphne and Velma, what they were essentially going with is eventually later meeting up with the gang and solving mysteries. So I'm pretty sure this one as well will work in the same element. So they eventually work their way and find the rest of the gang throughout this series, and then hopefully indulging into something else. Now it is going to be 10 episodes, which is incredible. We get a good spacing on what they're going to be like. The beginning bit is going to be a bit of an introduction, like, you know, getting to know the surroundings and the case files from what we've been told and what's available as to online. It is going to be a lot of killings going on in the area. We don't know if it's going to be in Crystal Cove. We don't know where they're going to be based at, but there's a killer on the loose, actual killing people, and Velma's solving the mystery. And so you can probably get an understanding that the Mystery Inc. gang will be formed, but at later stages. So probably the 10 episodes will lead up to the grand finale of meeting the gang to go on this massive conspiracy where this murder is probably related to countless others, and it's part of a syndicated or a syndication of villains working to destroy balance and order, and it's up to these teens to solve it. So that's what I think might lead into this series. I've read some comments on Ashton's video that people don't want there to be swearing and ruining it. I don't think there will be swearing as such, but there will be some curse words like damned or hell, which is to be expected. Just like with the Harley Quinn series, that had adult humour, but it didn't have too much graphical scenes. It wasn't like Shameless where they went overboard and had a lot of sexual exploit scenes. So they won't have anything like that, but they will have the odd curse word here and there. Nothing too offensive, but just might be hell and damned or something like that. But with the terms of gory scenes, that might be put up to a next level. If you remember the Scooby-Doo crossover with Scoob Natural, that took what we wanted into reality. Like literally that's what we wanted to see from a Scooby-Doo series, is someone to take that idea and make it into a trend And now HBO's coming out with this series called Velma. Calling it just Velma would just imply that it's just going to be her and no indication on the rest of the gang. Like, what happens if she meets up with the Scooby-Doo gang? Are we just going to call it Velma plus Scooby? Or are we just call it Velma plus the gang? And that's really got to work with. So I think it might just be Velma, and then they might do their own spin-offs with the rest of the gang. So find out where they were when it's all happened. It might be a Shaggy and Scooby series in the future. If this does really well, then there might be a Scooby and Shaggy origins, or showing where they were when these killings were happening, showing their POV, and the same could be said for Fred and Daphne. So it works well doing the pair-ups like that. Makes it very interesting. It might not happen, but it's a good analogy of how to properly work it. I think that's a really good idea, tying them all in together, and they could do that, or they could just keep it as Velma, and if the 10 episodes do really well, renew it for another set of episodes and do it that way. But I think it's great that they're adding in a killer, making the gore scenes, making it more adult themed, keeping it to the cartoon element, so it's all animated, so they have a lot more to work with in terms of environment. And as well, hopefully they take inspiration from Scoob Natural, keep it in that same style element, because that style was perfect for what the series could have been if they went down that route and decided to do a series for that in that kind of style. So Scoob Natural really opened up the possibility of a dark universe in the Scoobverse where stuff like this does happen. Like, we saw the possibility of a live action Origins from the Daphne and Velma, but unfortunately, due to the budget, the casting, and the whole way the movie was put forward, it flopped badly and it never got renewed for the sequel that they were planning to do, where they met up with the other gangs, which was shown at the end of the movie. And so with this one, hopefully it does really well, so we get to keep those traits going, and hopefully see more murder scenes, and hopefully it unfolds like Mystery Incorporated did, where it was a whole big conspiracy from the very beginning. You know, it does work. And then you also got the comics, so you got the Scooby Apocalypse. Those are good reference points to how gory and adult humor the Scoob gang can go into. So if you have any free time, you can find them online, digitally enhanced, so you can read them online and get a good insight to how it could possibly work. The comics are a good aspect to do them on, because those have a different twist and how they can work with. And then we also have the Scoobverse, which is already out there for Scoob Natural, so you guys can watch that if you haven't already done so. So I'm very pumped for this series called Velma. Hopefully we will see more of the game. Hopefully a trailer might drop, or some hint or indication sometime this year. But I don't think this will come out this year, because I think it's just too soon to say, oh, this is a new series on HBO. And that's the annoying thing, it's on HBO, so I will have to wait until it's available in the UK, which probably won't be till next year. So for me, it probably won't be till next year until I get it on DVD format or some shit like that. Yeah, I could use a VPN using my computer, but now they've got safeguards like Amazon where they detect VPNs and all that. So for me, I don't think I will see it before anyone else. So people in the US, you'll be seeing it probably first before me, and I'll have to rely on YouTube and other sites to watch the episodes on. So hopefully I'll be able to see it, but if not, I will have to wait for the physical copies if they come out on DVD. So yeah, eventually I will see it, but it will just be a big hassle from my point. So for me, from my point of view, I don't think it will come out this year. I think it will come out next year. For the US people, they might bring it out towards later this year, but keep it separate from the normal Scooby-Doo stuff. So, like I talked about at the start, we see our normal yearly Scooby-Doo series that we all know, which is kid friendly, along with the 2 direct-to-videos movies that come out every single year. We still get them. This is something on the side for us adult people to enjoy. So they're keeping it separate, which is great, because, you know, that's how you would want it, and that's how it would work best. You don't want to replace the other, because then we're going to go with 1 year of adult, next year with kids. Rather just like keep them separate so we can both enjoy. You know, I still love watching the original show, and I still do now, but it's really nice getting this new element where we get actually this dark tone bring out into their own contrast. It's their own series onto the side, and I think it will work. Of course, I can't say anything until I watch the first episode, but from what I'm reading, the sources that I have seen, I think it's going to be a tremendous good idea. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a link in the description, which will contain all the sources that I have looked upon for this information, so you guys can look as well. That's like 6 source tabs that I've opened up, so you guys can watch and read if you want to and keep up to date on those selected few. I'm going to keep up to date on mostly Instagram and Twitter, because that's how I found out about this first time. I found out on my vlogging channel in the comment section when I got told that have you seen Ashton's video on the new HBO series, and I was like, say no more, I'm watching it. I literally stayed up and I was like so tired, thinking no, I got coffee, I'm going to watch Ashton's video. And I was thinking, I really want to do this video ASAP. Like, I don't want to go to bed, but I had to because I was too knackered. And now I'm finally doing it. Like, literally Instagram, Twitter, all my YouTube sections when I mostly find out about the stuff, and it's just great, you know. That's how I find my sources, but I also add links to the tabs in case you guys want to find mine. Normally I find out on Instagram. I'm supposed to get notifications on my phone, but it doesn't come through on my phone. I'm followed by most of these, like I'm following 10 pages on Instagram that has the Scooby-Doo informations, and I have them all set to notifications, so they all pop on my phone, but none of them's coming through. I only get my YouTube ones, so it's really annoying, but I have to check through and go through every single page and again, go through. Okay, none on there. Try that. Sometimes I found one on TikTok the other day, which was really weird, and I couldn't find it again. So yeah. Mostly Instagram and Twitter I find all my sources from, but this time I found it through a comment section, so thank you so much for letting me know, and hopefully I've displayed it here as well, so you can see if you're watching. Thank you so much. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I know I brought this out, and I know I've got a lot planned coming up in March, but I hope I brought this out in time, get this out as quick as possible. March is going to be a lot of videos coming, and also I have a new sponsor deal with Amazon, and that will be coming in those videos, which would be really great. So I have a lot of stuff I'm working on this month in terms of videos, ideas, and I'm also working on my review to come out. Like, I'm still doing that, so I'm doing as many projects as possible, and I'm managing 3 channels. I'm managing my gaming one, my vlogging one, and this one with all the content. That's over 300 videos for this video I'm working on, 200 videos for my gaming channel I'm working on, roughly essential, and my vlogging one is whatever I can fit in between. So I am swamped, and also I got like some deal with Amazon working on. So yeah, I got a lot going on lately, and I thank you so much for your patience in all this. Hopefully I can get a quick short review on the new Scooby movie when it comes out. I'm hoping to do a live action to catch my reaction to it, and do highlight clips and that to put that out as well, and see if I get time to do that. Oh, and also before I go, I have a new microphone for my Sony ZV-1. I don't know what the audio will sound like until I watch the playback, so hopefully it's good. I really do. If not, hey, who knows, there's a trial and error. And also got my new light set up, so I have lighting the videos, because I know David said that, oh, my lighting's poor in my videos. I have 2 lights on me now, David. Is that good enough for you? I hope it is.